They don't call it nerdy gras for no reason. It's almost Labor Day, and guess what that means? It's Dragoncon time. And this year I am on 6 amazing panels, which we'll talk about in a bit. But first I have to talk about my love for Dragoncon. I go to a ton of conventions. I love going to conventions, mainly horror conventions. I've been to San Diego Comic-Con once, and that was actually really awesome. But I have to admit that Dragoncon has my heart. It's massive, with up to 80,000 people in attendance. Oh yeah, that's crazy, right? It's in Atlanta over 5 days and Labor Day weekend, which this year is Thursday, August 29th through Monday, September 2nd, and it's spread across 5 hotels. The Marriott Marquis, Hilton Atlanta Downtown, Westin Peachtree Plaza, Hyatt Regency Hotel, and the Cortland Grand Hotel Atlanta. Plus it also takes up the America's Mart Atlanta, and that's where all the amazing vendors are. And when I say all vendors, I mean tons and tons and tons of vendors. Any of the coolest, weirdest, neatest stuff you'd ever want to buy, you can pretty much purchase in there. So basically, the attendees of Dragoncon take up every bit of this space. So we're just spread, just doing our thing, just living our best lives throughout this 5-day period. What makes Dragoncon so special is it really is multi-genre, and there is definitely something for everyone. Sci-fi, fantasy, puppets, robotics, film, of course, horror. There's an amazing horror track. I can't say enough wonderful things about the horror track. It is so nice to go to a convention that is not a horror convention, that has such an amazing horror element to it, but the convention is really fan-driven. And it's so obvious when you're there. You see it in every aspect of the convention. People really love this, and they love what they're doing, and they're doing it for the love of whatever genre or whatever piques their interest. There are actually usually things for you to do 24/7. Yeah, 24/7. They don't call it nerdy gras for no reason. There's so many events and things to do. Like, of course, they have the celebrities, but they have all sorts of workshops. I mean, they have like a magic workshop, cosplay workshops. They have author signings, so much shopping, so much shopping. That's fun. There's tons of really awesome little food vendors like everywhere. Some of the trucks are actually some of the best things. Last year, they even had some doctors and nurses with the IVs for hydration. I love that. I actually got it last year, and if I had known about it sooner, I would have probably done it every day because I love it. They have amazing parties like Dragoncon at the aquarium, which, crazy enough, I've actually never been to, but it is at the Atlanta Aquarium, which, if you've never been to that, is amazing in itself. But having the Dragoncon party there is pretty epic. They also have the goth night, basically the open casket party. And obviously, I'm definitely going to that this year. This year, it is hosted by none other than Guillermo and Nandor from What We Do in the Shadows. So I'm super looking forward to that. It's Sunday at 10 p.m., I think. Let us not forget that there is also the massive parade that they have. I'll give you a little tip though. If you're not interested in seeing the parade, that is usually one of the better times to try to get into the vendor America's Mart because people are watching the parade. So if you're not interested in that, I definitely say that take that opportunity to go shopping. I just really like shopping for cool stuff, for cool nerdy stuff. Honestly, there's an endless amount of things to do. It's just one big party spread over 5 days. And I must say that the crowds are amazing and wonderful. I have had some of the best luck and the best times with these people. My schedule is really amazing this year because I have 6 panels, like I mentioned, 3 on Saturday and 3 on Sunday, and I couldn't be more thrilled with that because that means that Friday or whenever else I want to go, I can go and just chill and have fun, and that's crazy to me. because usually I have something to do. So I'm very excited about just being able to go and enjoy myself for a day at least, and then have my amazing panels on Saturday and Sunday. My first panel is on Saturday at 2:30, and it is Many Hats, an honest look at film directing. It is going to be at the Piedmont Hyatt, and we're gonna discuss how glamorous or really not so glamorous directing can be, what goes on behind the scenes. Let me tell you, the horror track is killing it this year. So nerdy. But really, the panels are so good. I'm really excited about these. My first horror track panel is Saturday at 5:30, and it is The Crow and Beyond, Gothic Cinema of the 90s. It's in Peachtree 1-2 in the Westin. We're going to talk about Gothic films of the 90s. And of course, during this time, we have the rise of Tim Burton, and we can talk about all these wonderful Gothic themes. I am moderating this panel, so I'm very excited about that. I've got to tell you, my favorite movie of all time is 1992's Bram Stoker's Dracula. So this panel is right up my alley. And for my final panel, Saturday on the horror track at 8:30 p.m., we have A Nightmare on Elm Street 40th anniversary at the Peachtree 1-2 Westin. Ooh, yeah. Obviously, we're gonna talk about Freddy Krueger, the killer that haunts your dreams. Talk about its origins and how it fits into the slasher genre, and how it helped propel Wes Craven as a master of horror. Moving on to Sunday, we have another great within the horror track. Sunday at 1 p.m., and it is the Blair Witch Legacy. It is going to be in the Peachtree 1-2 Westin, and we're going to talk about the legend and effects of the Blair Witch. We're going to explore its effects on the found footage horror film genre, and how its creative marketing helped play into the fear that it instills. Then at 2:30 on Sunday, we have Behind the Camera, Women Directors Revolutionizing Geek Cinema. This panel is going to be about women perspectives in the sci-fi, fantasy, and superhero films, challenges, industry barriers, and the importance of diversity in storytelling. And then for my final panel on Sunday at 7 p.m., The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 50th anniversary. We're gonna look at Tobe Hooper's 1974 masterpiece. Obviously, how this film's horror and its impact, and how it still is a cult classic today, even after 50 years. I'm also moderating this one, which I am very excited about, because I think the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a phenomenal film. Also this year, Dragoncon is partnering with the Arthritis Foundation. So for every dollar you donate, Dragoncon will match that up to $125,000. I am super excited about Dragoncon this year. I am super excited about my amazing panels that I'm on. I really can't wait. Obviously, I will do a short video like I did last year after Dragoncon. I think my last video was only 8 minutes though. What happens is I get there and I'm working and I'm doing things and I'm having fun, and I maybe don't film the entire time. So I'll whip up something for you guys on the panels and stuff, of course. And hopefully that will entice you to want to go to Dragoncon. And you know what? Guess what? There's still time to go to Dragoncon if you want. There is still time to purchase tickets. Have you been to Dragoncon? What's your favorite convention? What would you cosplay as at Dragoncon? Let me know in the comments below. And I really do hope that I see you at Dragoncon. When you say the word Gothic, you know it can be used in multiple ways. You can use it in reference to architecture. You can use it in reference to literature, which is more of the direction that we're going to in film. Of course, you can reference it to the Gothic subculture, but that is a music-based subculture. It can get confusing. I get it. The word Gothic is very confusing to people, but no, we are specifically referencing Gothic horror of the 90s. Awesome. I've got so much to do though.